Hey guys, Vasy back here, and we are kicking things off nice and early on this Thursday morning as we have our first NHL trade of the day, and it is involving the Toronto Maple Leafs. They have acquired Joel Edmundson from the Washington Capitals. Again, stay tuned to the channel all day today and tomorrow, as I'm sure there will be a ton of breaking trades around the NHL, and I will be covering as many of them as I can. Hopefully all of them, unless it gets too crazy. But with that being said, let's jump into NHL 24 and take a look at the first trade of the day. So putting this trade in-game, you will see that the Toronto Maple Leafs have traded the New York Islanders' third from this year and Chicago Blackhawks' fifth-round pick from this year in exchange for Joel Edmundson. So Edmundson's a guy I've seen a little bit of mixed reactions about. He's 81 overall in game. He's a guy that, if you're looking for points, you're definitely acquiring the wrong defenseman. He's a big 6'5" guy. He can eat up some minutes for you. He throws the body. He's a good shot blocker overall. I've seen a lot of Leafs fans, at least early on here, being a little bit underwhelmed, saying that they more or less had better defensemen on the roster. And I don't totally disagree with that notion. Overall, Edmundson is a very good, solid shutdown defenseman. Again, I probably see him more of being a bottom pairing defenseman on a real contending playoff team. So it'll be interesting to see where he slides into the lineup in Toronto. So when sending this trade from Toronto to Washington, they do end up accepting the deal. I'm going to go take a look at some of the lines, and then we will look at the lines for Washington and Toronto after this trade. So starting things off with the Toronto Maple Leafs, again, just like the trade with Lyubushkin, no changes at all on offense here today. When it comes to defensively, saw some people saying maybe McCabe should be switched with Riley up there, whatever. Either way, you do have some options now, and bottom pairing, I have Liljegren and Edmundson playing together. They should probably be switched sides there, that's my bad. But overall, you have a lot of different options, different looks on Toronto on the blue line. And again, I have Lyubushkin scratched just because it looks like he is going to be out for a little bit now with what looked like to be a concussion. And in the net, you have Samsonov and Woll still. No change there at all. And then quickly going over to the Capitals side here. Again, nothing here would have changed at all forward-wise. Wonder if a guy like Nick Dowd maybe will be traded before the deadline here on Friday. Looking at it defensively, they still have a decent amount of options. I'm not sure why Carlson is on the second pair. But another guy like Jensen, who knows, I've heard his name in trade talk as well. So we'll have to see if he gets dealt. And in the net, you still have Darcy Kemper and Charlie Lindgren. And then again, just giving my thoughts on this trade. From Toronto's perspective, I'm not the biggest fan of getting Edmundson. Just again, I think you have guys already on the team that, more or less, maybe they have a different style of play, but are somewhat more or less of an equal defenseman. I don't know, maybe that's just me. I see him very similar as a Lyubushkin type defenseman, and maybe they're doing this because he's hurt now. Maybe he's going to be out for an extended period of time. I'm not too sure. But then again, it's always good just in general to have depth, especially if you are planning to go on a decent playoff run. So, overall adding Edmundson isn't the worst move here for the Toronto Maple Leafs. And looking at it from the Capitals side of things, again, I think this is a very, very solid return for a guy who I don't think has the most value right now in real life, and as shown, to get a third and a fifth, I think that is totally fine for a caliber of a player like Edmundson. But I do think that is going to do it for today's video. Looking at the Joel Edmundson trade to Toronto. Definitely let me know, what did you guys think of this trade in the comments down below. And I'm sure I will see you guys very shortly here again on this channel with another trade simulation. Until then, I'll see you all in the next one.